I'm recording. Guys, I'll start with you. Obviously, Southside were missing a few key players, but what was different in this game for the Caps compared to the past few games that you versed in?
To be honest, like them obviously not having Nas was a huge out for them, and to give like Christie and Southside credit, I thought they played a hell of a game. Last week they played Perth really well, and I thought they came out with like great effort over the 40 minutes, even though that they were undermanned, and did a terrific job. I just didn't like our lack of focus with our game plan. Wasn't great, and our lack of intentionality at the defensive end wasn't there for the whole game, I thought.
But overall, how do you feel about the effort that the Caps put in?
I wasn't happy with it. It's not what we expected. And I think we spoke about coming in with a mindset, them obviously being down players and being switched on. And as I said, it's like we did not stick to the individual scout. Our personnel and our team defense wasn't up to scratch for what we'd practiced and what we planned for. And so that's on me. I've got to do a better job teaching it, but also we've got to be more accountable to our individual play.
Is that something that, because I remember like the last time we played Southside as well, you mentioned pretty much some of the similar things. Is that a matchup thing with Southside?
No, it's just a lack of focus to me. It's a lack of focus, lack of discipline, not being ready to play.
Jade, you had a triple-double today. What do you see out there in the game? I think you started off like a couple of assists to Charlie. Is that something that you're intentionally doing to try to get everyone involved first before you kind of look for yourself?
Yeah, for sure. My favourite stat in the game is the assist. And yeah, getting my teammates involved and getting them in positions to be successful is ultimately like what I want to do as a point guard. And yeah, the game plan was to push the tempo and create plays. So that suits my style of play. So we just need to do more of that. Yeah, like the triple-double is great. That is what it is. But I think like on the defensive end, like Oz was saying, like we can't give that team 79 points. We have to tune in better to scouts, schemes. It's great to get a 15-point win, but I think the exciting thing for me is we can still grow a lot from that game. And unfortunately, it was probably a reflection. We probably didn't have the best week on the practice floor. So that, ultimately comes into this Saturday and we rock up the way we did. We scored 94 points. There's no problems on the offensive end, but we need to clean up some stuff defensively.
Short week, short turnaround against Sydney at home, which is probably going to be the biggest game of the season so far.
Yep.
With you competing for that fourth spot. What's going to be the focus this week in practice for you guys?
Yeah, one game at a time. We're well aware we've got two big games this week. We've got one against Sydney, one against Geelong, but it's about making sure we do all the right things tomorrow on our off day, making sure we recover, we get the right amount of sleep, all the little things, because we still want to get a main practice in on Monday. And, we just saw there's a lot of things we need to clean up, especially defensively. So on Monday, we've got to go at each other and make sure we get the scout going, because, Sydney's probably not a team that's going to pick us apart on their offense. It's going to be individuals like Swaney just had a 40-piece. Kayla George killed us last time we played him. So just, honing into that, watching a heap of video this week, working maybe like smarter, not harder. But Monday's got to be a big practice for us, and then we've got to focus on Sydney first and then take care of Geelong as well.
Guys, I'll come back to you. You're one of the few coaches I thought that throughout the season have relied more on the bench unit. And to see that kind of like pay off a little bit as the season's gone on with all the injuries, and now you see Indy coming in hitting 5 3-pointers, Debo with like her effort and defense. Like, can you talk a little bit about the growth of that group as the season's gone on?
Yeah, definitely those three, like Katie, Indy, Mon have definitely like grown. I think it's been a huge growth for Mon coming in as like a 17-year-old, just turned like 18. But from day one, I saw the talent that Indy had. She's a great athlete. She can play both ends of the floor. When she's locked in at the defensive end, she can. And she's a natural like scorer. Her shot is like great. And Katie, we knew, could be just like that rugged defender that's going to harass people up the floor and can make open shots. And just their growth and the trust that I have in like them and their ability and the work that they're doing like week to week is shining through now. And we need that depth. We can't play with just 5 players. We need that depth, and we need everyone to come in and do their job.
Katie looked like she tweaked her ankle a little bit there. Is she going to be okay going forward?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was just a tweak. She's in seeing physio now. She'll get some light treatment, but I'm sure she'll be fine.
And Jade, how big is it for you that you got Katie, you got Mon, you got Indy, like kind of providing that spark off the bench, and even Indy now is in the starting lineup, and when in stretches that you can get out of the game for a couple of minutes. How big is that for you? Like moving, as the season comes down to the stretch.
It's huge. It's great that, we all have confidence in them to come in and contribute. Like, there was no question that Indy was ready to start when Chantel went down. Like, she's just been putting in the work at practice. I think her habits are getting better. But yeah, to have Mon, I think, had a career high tonight with 17 points. Indy was huge. I actually just had tunnel vision for Indy in the end. I was just looking for her on the 3-point line with the hot hand. Katie's been huge. She comes in and just harasses their best ball handler and then even forces them to have a sub. So having those three Indy start and those two come off the bench is huge impacts. And it's a whole team effort. We're a unit of however many suit up on the night, and we rely on everyone to do their job. And if they can continue to do that, it's going to hold us in good stead.
And how good was it to have Ella back in the lineup today?
It's great. Another big rotation. She came in, got to work. There's a bit of a rusty one, but apart from that, she came in. She's been putting in the work. I caught her doing a workout with Goz on Monday, and she was stuffed at the end of it. But she's been on the bike. She's been doing all the right things to keep herself in shape. So it's great that you get her back in the lineup. And we've got her now for Sydney and going forward. So yeah, she was so diligent in her rehab, and to have her back's great. The bigger the group, the better.
Speaking of team efforts, Abby Bishop's been out there setting lots of screens for you and contributing on ways that don't show on the stat sheet. How good is it to have Bishop out there setting screens for you, and how's yours and Charlie's game changed over the last few games?
Yeah, I think Charlie and I just continue to have basketball conversations, and that's why the pick and roll. In practice, we had a couple of heated moments because I wasn't getting her the ball in the right spots, and it's been a big emphasis because she's so dominant in this league, and we just need to feed her. So that's been huge, and building that chemistry has been great, and that's been fantastic. But Bish just comes in, and it's just so good having someone with her basketball knowledge. She sets great screens without even completely knowing our offense. She just knows where to be in the right spots. And she's a great leader and a great voice as well. So she's helped me out, but she's constantly our number one talker on the floor. She's constantly calling schemes and constantly reminding us and coming into huddles and making contributions. And she's just been awesome too. She's a great person. So we've really enjoyed having Bish around. She doesn't want to be the person that scores 20, but the way she just passes, facilitates, and just shares her wisdom with us is really, really good.
Anything from you about Bish, guys?
No, I'm super grateful that she took up the call to come in and help, and obviously, her basketball IQ, her passing ability, her playmaking ability, and I think her presence on the court just settles the group too because of her experience, and that's something that we haven't had, as we know, all season. We've been a young and experienced group, and she's really came in and taken that role on to really settle us, and you can just tell the tempo changes when Bish gets on the floor.
Great job, guys.
Thank you.
Short and sharp, love it.
Thank you.